Hello and welcome to this reading. This is the Sage Philosopher Tarot, and I had a feeling that I needed to do a reading for the collective. It's been a really heavy time recently. There's so much happening in the world, and I have been having some very intense, crazy dreams, and the theme of those dreams just seems to be a lot about being stuck, being trapped, being really stuck in places, and there being this undertone of violence. And I just really feel like it's so easy to get sucked into that negativity, especially with what's going on, and that's totally understandable. But I feel like what we can do together is to give each other hope and give each other a space to really feel what we might need to feel. And this is where I think, for me, tarot comes in, helps me clear my mind and really tap into that ancestral knowledge and wisdom. And sometimes we just need that little bit of redirection. And so I've already been shuffling the cards and I've cleared the space. And so I'm just going to do a really easy reading today, a really simple one, because I don't think we need complication right now. I know I don't. And so the way I'm going to do this is that I'm going to pull out 3 cards. We're just going to do 3 cards like this. Make that easier to see. And then at the bottom of the deck is going to be the feeling for this reading, or the main thread that goes through what we need to know. And that is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a really hopeful card. Oh, can you see that all right? We'll just change that. Okay. So let's see what we have to hear today. We're not going to do reverse today. I just have a feeling that we're not doing reverse. I want it to be a straight reading, because I can feel that there is a lot of fear with people, and that's easy. That's not just like, psychic or anything. That's intuition. That's seeing the general vibe at the moment. And so I'm just going to take a bit of tea before we really dive in. The Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles are a groundedness, it's obviously, it can be money, it can be wealth, but I often read it as groundedness of, especially in terms of what's going on at the moment. I think that we need to go back to a grounded feeling, because when we're not grounded, I think that's often when our heads just go crazy, and that's not going to do any of us any good. And so I want you to, as I'm talking and as we're going through this reading, really tap into what is going to ground you at the moment, and think about like the gift of nature and groundedness in the earth. Because I really have a feeling that one of the things that really wants to come out for this collective is we need to get offline. Although obviously, some of us that's where our community is, but there is so much to be had when we get out and put our feet back on the ground, put our feet in grass, and really just take a deep breath in and sigh. So I'm actually really, I'm quite excited that we got the Ace of Pentacles. And you can see in the Ace of Pentacles that all the trees on the bottom there, and I really feel like what is being guided right now is saying to us, go outside. That is where the magic is. So we've got the Queen of Wands, Page of Swords, and then we've got the Four of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, to me, she is in her power. Look at this Queen. Like, wands are fire. It is our actions. And the Queen of Wands is really, she's in charge of her actions. She has control over her domain. And I think that's really relevant right now, to be in control of your actions, because I don't know about anyone else, but I have a very short wick at the moment, and I think that that is very deliberate. You know, what's going on right now, the way that news and things are being fed to us. It's, you know, there is a lot of scary information out there, and it is triggering the F out of people to not think about their actions before they do them. And so the Queen of Wands, I feel, is really reminding us to think, what actions do we want to be making? And then we've got the Page of Swords, which is, it's air energy, it's our thoughts. You can really see down here as well, there's a lot of movement. And so what I'm really picking up from this collective is that your minds are busy. They are busy, busy, busy. The page is, you know, the page is just really at the start of his journey, or her journey, or their journey. We don't do gender binary on this channel. And so I feel like there is this feeling of just, you know, quickness. There's a lot to do, and it's just go, go, go. You can see the movement, and, you know, he's ready to act. And the Queen of Wands is reminding us that we need to be in charge of how we respond to things. I always see the Four of Wands as, I know it's not at the end of the journey, it's actually almost only halfway through, but it's victory. It's really victorious. Like, there's a love to it. There, you know, in some readings it can really come through as partnership, and that can be romance, obviously, but I think partnership as well is obviously within our communities, it's within our families and friends. So I really feel like what this collective really needs to be reminded of is that connection is key. And you can see here we're connected. There's two parts of it. There's a lot of symmetry going on. And I feel like, again, in all of these cards, you know, we've got her sunflower, we've got the roses, and our pentacles show us, you know, the lovely imagery of forests. And yeah, I'm just feeling that collective, we need to get outside. We need to reconnect with each other. We need to remember that community and connection are key. All right, so I feel like we need a few more cards. So it's a good start, I think. You know, the Page of Swords as well is really, like, he's starting to master things, you know. You can see there, he's got some cockiness, and that's all right. You know, cockiness is fine sometimes, but it's also a reminder that, you know, we can get heated. We can act quickly, you know, swords are sharp. Okay, I've just got these two here, have come out again. It's interesting. Okay, I'll just bring them over here. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because I feel like this is me at the moment as well. And that's heaviness. That is, you have a lot on your mind. Like, are you sleeping, collective? How is your sleep doing? What is on your mind? Are you feeling despair right now? Because that's what I'm getting from that card, is there is a lot on your mind right now, collective. And that's totally understandable. I mean, what on earth is going on in this world that we live in? But as we have, you know, been told by the cards earlier, that, you know, that's okay. The remedy to this is, like, who can you talk to? Who can you connect up with? And, you know, maybe have a cup of tea with a friend, chat about it, get it out. You know, it's no good keeping this stuff in. And, you know, I think we've got some more cups here. Cups, that's the first cups we've got, and that is really our emotions. You know, the Seven of Cups reminds us that we can see a lot of shiny things, and some of them, you know, some of them aren't so nice. Some of this will bite us like a snake. Some of them look really pretty but aren't so good. and then sometimes we have no idea what is going to be given to us. But the Seven of Cups reminds us not to get distracted about pretty things. And I actually think, like, if we want to go on a political way in this, you can think about all the shiny things that gets promised to us, and never come true. And so I feel like what this is saying, what, you know, collective, what is being told to us is to don't get distracted. We need to be here. We need to be the Queen of Wands. And now we've got the Hierophant. You know, the Hierophant, that is wiseness. That is a wise counsel. And I really do feel like we're getting a lot of symmetry here. I really feel that what we're being guided to do and really encouraged to do to get to this Ace of Pentacles, where we have riches out there waiting for us, is to seek some wise counsel, you know. And a lot of us don't have wise elders, and that's why I actually feel like tarot for me has become my wise elder. And so if you don't have a wise elder or parents or grandparents, anyone in your community, there we go, and we've got a Seven of Swords, and that's 7-7, that's 2 sevens there. That, you know, I can be your wise counsel right now as I channel through these tarots, and I can really feel that, again, see, we've got heaviness with our swords. That's, you know, that's a bit of sneakiness. You know, things are weighing us down, our actions, our thoughts. Old mate here is sneaking away. And it, you know, I just, yeah, look at these two. Like, we could read that as, you know, be careful. But I also feel like actually some of our worries can be taken away when we seek wise counsel. And I want to say as well, I have a feeling like a lot of us, me included, need to be reminded that the internet isn't always real. And so we need to be really careful about who we are getting our information from. Because at the moment, I feel like we're really on a precipice of, you know, the world being quite effed. And so we need to get really smart about our thoughts and our actions and where are we getting our information from. But also, who are our wise elders, or who are the people that we really trust to hold our thoughts and our fears in like high resonance. So, you know, there's a very clear message here to me about a lot of us are feeling burdened down. Let's not get distracted. And that distraction as well could be the internet. I mean, social media and I have been doom scrolling. Like, this is for me as well. Sometimes I think I'm actually just speaking for me. But collective, I feel as well that there's a lot of us that need to be reminded. Yeah, King of Swords. Yeah. So King of Swords is the king. Like, swords are our thoughts, but he's in charge, you know. And again, look at this. There's clouds, birds. We've got the clouds and trees, and even we've got butterflies. So this could be one way, actually, if you really feel like this is for you. Butterflies could be a good sign. But as always, with any tarot readings, when it's for the collective, take what resonates, you know. It's not all going to be for us, but I feel like at the moment, the very clear message is stop the scrolling, seek our wise counsel, and try as much as we can be to balance out our thoughts and our actions. Because after that, we've got some more pentacles, and that's groundedness. Now, that is the Eight of Pentacles, and he's almost finished. He's almost at the end, and he's gathering his resources. And so that's, yeah, that's probably a really good place. I feel like that's where we can stop. So if this has resonated for you, if you've enjoyed this, hit the thumbs up, share, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be doing a new video every week, and I would love for you to join me.